Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel, Awfully Big Adventures. Today we're going to talk about our shore excursion bag and what we take when we get off the ship, whether we're going on a shore excursion or not. Just a few things that we think makes your day a little easier. So our first item that we're going to talk about is a beach towel. We don't actually have one with us because you don't need to pack one unless you're super particular about what kind of towel you have. The ship does provide all of them. They will be either poolside or left in your room, or you'll grab them as you disembark the ship. And just really varies on what kind of cruise line. Even it varies with what ship you're on.
Some other things that we don't have examples of that we're going to talk about. You'll want to take some water with you. You can be bottled water. You can. Some cruise lines will let you bring your own from home. Some cruise lines you can buy on the ship. It can be expensive. Or what we do, we've talked about in one of our other videos. So we take a Camelback backpack. We fill up the bladder, which has 2 liters of water, and we're set for the day. That helps cut down on some cost of having to buy bottled water while on shore. Some other things you might want to take are copies of your documents. It's a good idea to take your driver's license with you. For example, what I like to take, this is just an iPhone wallet case. So it has my bank cards, driver's license. You'll probably want to par down, take out some bank cards that you don't plan on using. Anything that you want to lose. So maybe just a credit card, your driver's license, and then you have your phone with you. And that just goes in my shore excursion bag. So that's pretty easy and very handy. But copies of your passports, the ship daily that they pass out, which has contact information for the pier agent. That could be really handy should you unfortunately find yourself stranded or left behind.
Some other stuff that we think is pretty essential to take on land with you is tip money, or even just cash in general. A lot of these places, especially like taxi drivers, do not take cards. You can go to some beaches that don't take cards either. On a cruise a couple years ago, my mom and I went on a shore excursion, and we forgot to replenish the cash that was in our shore excursion bag, and we ended up at the beach for 4 hours with just $20, and no one took cards. So it was really hot too. It was in July. It was like 104, and it's definitely something you should keep up with, is how much cash you have on hand.
So let's go ahead and get started and pull out some of the things that we like to keep in our bag, just to show you guys what we typically take. The first thing is one thing that I take everywhere that we go. I pack it especially for each cruise. This is a little bit large. You can have one smaller for sure. We got this for free, I think, at Target, and it's just a case. But I like to put together my own first aid kit. This, I think, is from the Container Store. It's just one of those crafting boxes with the movable inserts so that you can make different size spaces. So I pack general things that you might find yourself needing, such as heartburn medication. Certainly margaritas, other sugar drinks can cause you to have heartburn. You don't want to find yourself on an island with no access to a medication that can make your day way better. So Neosporin, Band-Aids, ibuprofen, Pepto-Bismol, just basic things that could help make you more comfortable, and you can have with you easily. I take this on every port. These are just over-the-counter medications. If you have prescription medications, it's probably a better idea to keep them in the bottle, just to err on the side of caution. But just for this, I've put them together, and of course labeled them. You want to make sure that you know what they are. So just use a cheap label maker, and you're set to go. It's really cheap and really easy.
I also like this more than packing. We have like 8 different kinds of medicine in there, and taking 8 different bottles of medicine is a bit excessive. So this is a great way to you just decant your pills in here, and you can keep the big bottles at home and just take this with you, and it makes it a lot easier. So our next item is something you should be concerned with no matter where you go, is sunscreen. I usually take a spray sunscreen as well as a paste, and I know I have really sensitive skin, and I'm very susceptible to getting sunburns even when you just wouldn't expect it. So I always take a couple bottles of sunscreen with us. It's very important.
Related to that, some excursions that you'll take, you may need biodegradable sunscreen. For example, we went on a scuba excursion in Cozumel, and in the marine park, you're not allowed to have sunscreen that is non-biodegradable. They didn't really go around and check it, but for the sake of the environment and keeping reefs safe, it's called reef safe sunscreen or biodegradable sunscreen, and it doesn't leave that film in the water, so it's safe for you and it's safe for the coral, and it works. It leaves a little bit of a white residue on your skin, but that's half the fun.
And if you're in the water, you really don't notice it, and you can pick that up. Probably one of the more popular brands is Badger sunscreen, and it is biodegradable, and it's reef safe, and you can get that at any like health food store like Whole Foods or Earth Fare, or on Amazon.
Related to that, something you might want to take, especially if you're going on an inland type of excursion, is some insect repellent. Obviously, everybody's very aware of Zika, other types of concerns that are going on. So just to keep yourself safe, take a spray bottle. There are different kinds. There's some that are DEET-free. You can use essential oils. And so whatever you find that works for you, you're comfortable with. So if you're going on a jungle adventure or something like that, make sure that you take this just for peace of mind and to be more comfortable. The next thing I like to take, we don't always use it, is just a pair of goggles. These are big, of course. You can take the non-mask type, just a cheap pair of Speedo goggles. And so if you're on the beach and you just want to do some snorkeling, you want to maybe see what's on the seabed, you don't have to go and rent a pair of goggles. Some pairs of goggles can be semi-costly, and so this just helps to cut down on some of that spending. I also have my own snorkel, which you can take. If you know that you're going to be snorkeling or you're going to want to snorkel, you can pack a little bit more for those days.
So the next thing that I like to take is just a little Ziploc bag with some essentials that I find necessary. I'll do 2 different kinds of hand sanitizer, which may sound excessive, but I like the wipes for wiping down like tables, and then just a little bottle of spray hand sanitizer. It's really compact, it's really easy to take. This is also approved for like carry-ons on airlines. And then I also, for anyone who wears contacts, it's really important, I think, to take just a little bit of contact solution. I got this bottle from the Container Store for just a couple of dollars, and I just put some of my regular contact solution in there, and then just a little contact case, just in case you need to take them out or wash them or what have you.
One of the next things that I like to take personally, some of you guys may, of course everybody likes to take photos of their cruise adventure, different beaches that you visit, different family photos. For me, I have a DSLR camera, but I don't always necessarily like to take it on a short excursion. It can be big, it can be bulky, it can kind of be a target if you're worried about people nicking it. So for me, I usually like to take a more compact kind of camera. This one isn't waterproof, but it fits in a bag very easily. It's still really good quality, and so you get really good pictures, but you can tuck this away a little bit better. You can also, of course, take your GoPro if you want to do any underwater types of photos, if you're snorkeling, and that's very easy to keep on you, very compact. So I always like to have that with me, just to get some good pictures and not have to use my phone. Something else we've talked about in a previous video about packing tips and must-haves. The cheap pair of sunglasses. This is something I take in my short excursion bag. If I'm doing any type of beach adventure and swimming with them in the water, I don't want to have an expensive pair that the salt water can wear down. So this is, I think, $5 from H&M. Good investment. I don't really care if I lose them, and so there's some peace of mind with having some of those.
Our next item that we like to take with us whenever we travel is just a portable charging battery. We got this one on Amazon, and it's a little pricier than like just the little stick ones, but I can charge my phone like 6 times fully with it, so it lasts a really long time. It has 2 USB ports and then a micro USB port right there where you can charge up to 3 items, and it's really handy to have whenever you go out on land and you're worried about your battery running out.
That's handy if you are using your phone as a primary photo device, or if you're in St. Thomas and you get cellular service there and you're calling family, friends, whoever, sending text messages. That's a good way to just keep your phone charged throughout the day while you have free service on your cruise. The last thing we were going to talk about, we've already mentioned in a previous video, you can take a pair of binoculars. That's just something that can be handy. You can look at other cruise ships. If you go on a sightseeing tour, you can see things a little bit better. So that's just kind of fun to have. So that's it for our shore excursion bag. Those are just things that we like to take. For some people that may be too much. So you want to find what works for you. I think for me, I just like having peace of mind, knowing that I have a first aid kit or a snorkel mask, but that may be too much for you. So you want to be comfortable, you don't want to go overloaded, but I just like to have things handy that can make my day smoother, a little bit better, a little bit more relaxing. So that's it for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to know more about our upcoming trip. Thanks for watching.